not a member of a political party. I'm very supportive of Jenny and Pauline and Jess for the work that they're doing. I think the Greens have actually taken a very good stand on this issue, but I'm looking for solutions here. At a community meeting at Alexandria Town Hall about a month ago, which Tanya Plibersek called, and which was a fairly rough experience for her and Jodie Mackay and Max Thistlethwaite and Linda Scott, all Labor Party people who were there, because the crowd was deeply antagonistic to WestConnex. And at that I asked Tanya and all of them, because Combay and because Weaven are their people, they're probably personal friends, they've certainly sat around the cabinet table together, have they ever raised concerns about WestConnex or the role of industry superfunds? And they didn't answer the question. At the end of the meeting, Tanya said she'd contact Greg Combay and talk to him about it. It's a month ago, I haven't heard anything. I just want to read to you what Anthony Albanese, who since Kevin Rudd became the leader of the Labor Party in December 2006, has been either the Minister for Infrastructure or the Shadow Minister for Infrastructure. And John Fain on Melbourne Radio, this is in 2015, was talking to him about some privatisation proposals in Melbourne. And Tony Abbott at that stage had floated the whole idea of asset recycling, of privatisation. So Fain says, and now the next thing they're saying is that they want to push privatisation of state assets as part of the funding package. Do you have consensus on that? And Albo says, well, you need to look at it on a case-by-case basis. With regard to the sale of the ports, that's something that does make sense from my perspective. Ports, by their very nature, are monopolies. You are guaranteeing a monopoly ownership and you are guaranteeing pricing power. Just ask the Port of Newcastle how they feel about the Port Botany operation, which is now majority owned by IFM investors. There are 500,000 containers that go through Port Botany every year. Port of Newcastle is really trying to repurpose their activities there, get some employment going now that it's no longer a steel port, and also because coal is clearly a problem. If under the terms of the privatisation of the Port of Botany, if the container flow through the Port of Newcastle increases, it goes above 30,000 containers a year as compared to 500,000 at Port Botany, they have to pay a loading of $100 per container. So, absolute clear demonstration and proof that these industry super funds are on about monopoly control, they are on about suppression of competition, they are on about suppression of alternatives, and they have the active support of the Labor Party. They also have the active support, of course, of the Liberal Party, but the key thing is they have the active support of the Labor Party. And so if pressure is to be exerted, I think the coming months of the leading up to the elections at the state level and federal level are a key time to bell the cat of whose benefit this is being done for. And as I said, we have to fight, and we have to fight hard. If you don't fight, you lose. IFM Investors is owned by 29 industry super funds. Yep. The chair of the board is Gary Weaven, former Assistant Secretary of the ACTU. Oh. The deputy chair of the board is Greg Combay, former Secretary of the ACTU, and former Minister in a federal Labor government. So the big bad wolf in this nightmare is the industry super funds. They are behaving as voracious capitalists, and they are even bragging about it to their members. So I've got very specific questions for each of the Labor representatives here. Can you tell us tonight, have you had any discussions with your co-party members on the industry super funds about their role in the Sydney Motorway Corporation or with WestConnex? If so, did you communicate your displeasure or any displeasure about their involvement? Did you suggest to them ways in which they might honour the triple bottom line of social good, environmental good, as well as fiduciary good? And if you haven't done that so far, will you undertake at this meeting to in fact meet with those people that I've named and raise the concerns of the people here with them?
The fifth thing that I wanted to raise was the issue that Chris Nash raised about the involvement of Transurban and IFM Super. I'm happy wherever you are, Chris, to take up those issues with Greg Combay and Gary Weaven, and I'm not sure who the people are at IFM Super, but I'll find out and have a conversation with them as well.
Heather it out.
Oh, is it
chairman
Heather?
for the Australian
I might not get as easy access to Heather as I do to the other two.